Okay, so this is the part 2 of our discussion in Criminal Law Book 1. Okay, so part 2 na to, so we will continue with this discussion. But of course, we will always go back to basic. So hindi lang naman dapat kailangan i-sundin yung sa TOS. Kailangan na natin go beyond that. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi lalabas ang yung nasa TOS, okay lang kasi you prepared a lot. Kung lalabas man, mas okay, di ba? Kasi alam na alam nyo kung ano yung lalabas at ano yung mga itatanong nila sa board exam. Okay? So pag sinabi nating criminal law or book 1 natin, of course, dapat alam nyo muna what is law. Okay? So that is very basic. Doon tayo magsa-start. Okay? What is law, class? Meron kayong idea? Pakilagay nga sa comment section kahit keywords or keywords lang na magde-define ngayon kay law. Okay, what is law? Okay, what is law? Okay, very good. Si John Miko. Okay, pag sinabi nating law, it is the rule of conduct. Okay, so pag sinabi nating law, class, it is the rule of conduct, just and obligatory. Very good, Jeffrey. It is a rule of conduct, just and obligatory for common observance and benefits, of course, of the majority. So ganito kaya siya yan. Okay, so ganito yung tinatawag natin na law. So halimbawa, we have the 9165 class sa tinatawag natin na governing yung sa drugs natin sa Pilipinas. Kapag walang 9165, of course, hindi natin marurule or hindi natin malalaman kung yung action ba ng isang tao is tama ba yan o mali. Kaya that's why tinatawag natin na it is a rule of conduct. So, ibig sabihin, ang paggamit ng marijuana or ang paggamit ng shabu or any other dangerous drugs, kapag legal yan, of course, lahat tayo nagiging addict, di ba? So that's why kailangan natin ng batas. It is a rule of conduct. Tapos, it is just and obligatory. Yung 9165, of course, no one is exempted for that. Okay? So, of its implementation, walang exempted doon. Kasi nga, it is just and obligatory. So, dapat lahat sumunod. Nakuha? Promulgated by local authorities, of course, ang PDEA, the PNP, and other law enforcement agencies. Then, of course, that is for common observance and benefits. Ang magbe-benefit niyan, tayo rin, di ba? So, of course, the shabu or the drugs in general is the root cause of all evil. That's why ang paglagay or kapag may batas yan, matatawag natin na ma-observe natin or magbe-benefit niyan is yung ating majority or lahat tayo. So yan yung tinatawag natin na law. Okay? So again, law, it is a rule of conduct. Kahit yan lang yung tandaan niyo pag na-encounter niyo ang law, it is a rule of conduct, just and obligatory, promulgated by local authorities for common observance and benefits. So, through law, of course, class, sa isang bansa or sa isang state, malalaman natin kapag yung actions ba natin is in accordance with law or kahit anong gawin natin dyan, halimbawa yung pagpatay kapag walang batas na nagsasabi that is homicide or murder, of course, hindi natin malalaman na mali yan. Okay? So that's why kailangan natin ng law sa isang bansa or sa isang state or sa isang estado para mag-govern yung ating mga actions. Okay? That is law. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yan, that is the law. Okay. So again, pag sinabi nating law, it is a rule of conduct, just and obligatory for common observance and benefits. Kahit hindi nyo na ma-memorize yan, class. Ang tandaan nyo lang, pag na-encounter nyo ang term na law, it is a rule of conduct. So tandaan niyo class, please make sure na naka-off ang microphone niyo. Kasi nag-mute ko na lang ako na lang. Okay, dito. From Article 1, okay, from Article 1 class ng revised penal code natin, from the time when the act took effect to Article 113 class, that is the coverage of the revised penal code book 1. Kasi magsa-start ang book 2 natin sa Article 114, which is treason, tama? So again, ang coverage class ng book 1 natin, kasi we are talking about or we are discussing the book 1, kasi mas maganda yung deep or yung pinaka-basic muna. Kasi yung mga basic yan yung kinakalimutan ninyo eh. So from Article 1 down to Article 113, That is the coverage of the revised penal code book 1. Of course, that is from time when the act took effect, and of course to Article 113, that is the obligation to satisfy the civil liability. So mamaya i-explain na natin yung mga civil liability, but according sa TOS, hindi lalabas no sa board exam. But we will try to explain that para mas maganda, di ba? Kung susundin mo nilang TOS or hindi, mas safe na makakasagot at makakasagot kayo. Okay? So yan. So tandaan niyo class, Article 1 to Article 113, that is the coverage of Book 1. Then Article 114 naman, magsa-start ang Book 2 which is treason. Okay? So yan. So dito tayo. So of course, yesterday we discussed yung literal definition ng jurisprudence. Pag sinabi nating juris, that is law. Then prudence naman, ibig sabihin yan, wise judgment. So meaning class, ang jurisprudence that is literally defined as it is the wise judgment of law. Okay, kaya that's why we have the different jurisprudence in the Philippines, di ba? Governing yung actions ng individual. Okay, jurisprudence ang tawag natin dyan. So kasi nga, juris means law and prudence means wise judgment. So literally, ang jurisprudence, it is the wise judgment of law. Okay, nakuha ba? Nasundan? Nandyan pa kayo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then of course, we have the criminal law. So you encountered yung term na criminal law, di ba? So palagi yung na-encounter yan, yung DTP. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng DTP na to, class? In criminal law. What is that meant? Ano ibig sabihin ng DTP? It defines crime, traits of their nature, and provides for their punishment. Okay, very good. So ang DTP class, it stands for yung letter D, it defines crime, traits of their nature, and provides for their punishment. So that is DTP. So ibig sabihin, una, kapag dinedefine niya ang crime, halimbawa sa tinatawag natin na infanticide class. Okay. So ano yung definition ng infanticide? Okay, what is the definition of the infanticide na tinatawag natin? Okay, so ano yung definition ng infanticide class? Dapat may tubig kayo dyan sa gilid ninyo kasi masyadong mainit ang panahon ngayon. Hindi, definition lang muna. Definition lang muna ang ibigay ninyo kasi yung less than 3 days old, that is not the definition. That is the elements or the threats of their nature. Again, pag sinabi nating yung DTP, we will focus on the DTP. Ano yung letter D? Yung defines crimes. So ano ngayon ang definition ng tinatawag natin na infanticide? Okay, again, what is the definition of infanticide? Okay, killing of a child or minor. Okay, very good. Okay, killing of a child or minor. So, ang pinaka-importante dyan, class, yung traits of their nature. Ang traits of their nature, ibig sabihin, the elements or the element of the crime. So, what is the element of the crime or the important element of a crime na infanticide, class? Kasi we already knew the definition. So, ano yung kaniyang traits of their nature or elements? Okay, less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. That is the traits of their nature or the elements. Okay, less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. So ano naman yung tinatawag natin, class, na penalty or punishment for the crime of infanticide ngayon? Okay, so how about others? Okay, reclusion perpetua. Okay, so very good. Reclusion perpetua to death. Okay, so that's why, class, ang tandaan nyo lang, pag na-encounter nyo yung term na criminal law, so that is, ang acronym natin dyan or mnemonics is DTP. Tama? Okay, so of course, yung letter D, that defines crime, traits of their nature, and provides for their punishment. So halimbawa, in the crime of infanticide, so paano ba natin i-define ngayon ang crime na infanticide? So ang infanticide, it is the killing of a child or minor. So that is the definition, class. It is the killing of a child or minor. Kapag pupunta tayo ngayon sa threats of their nature or ibig sabihin the elements of the crime. So what is the important element of the crime na infanticide? Of course, 3 days old or less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. Huwag niyong kalimutan yung term or yung word na less than. Kasi kapag exactly yan, of course, ibang usapan na yun. Less than 3 days old or less than 72 hours. That is the threats of their nature or the important element of the crime na infanticide. Pag sinabi naman natin it provides for their penalty or the penalty for the crime of infanticide, of course, that is reclusion perpetua to death. Tama? So paano ba natin, sir, malalaman na yung mga crimes na yon ay considered or are punishable with reclusion perpetua to death? So meron tayong acronym na sinusunod. Of course, alam niyo to kasi some of you are my followers. Kasi 'di ba we already discussed this one. Yung mga terms or mga ano na may kimpara. Okay, ano yung mga kimpara na yan? So what is kimpara? Kimpara class. So ano yung mga crimes punishable with reclusion perpetua to death? Of course, ang death penalty sa Pilipinas ngayon is temporarily suspended. So of course, automatic pwedeng ibigay sa kanya is reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment. So what is kimpara? Okay, so ang kimpara class, that is short term for yung letter K, that is kidnapping, yung I naman, that is infanticide, yung M, that is murder, yung PA, that is parricide, and yung RA, that is rape. Again, paano natin malalaman ngayon yung mga crimes? Of course, these are the crimes na very common, no, na punishable with reclusion perpetua to death. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na kimpara. So, kidnapping, yung letter I naman, infanticide, yung M naman, murder, yung PA, that is parricide, yung RA naman is rape. These are yung tinatawag natin na punishable by reclusion perpetua. Nasundan ba ninyo? Nasundan ninyo, class? Yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na
Yes, sir.
good. Okay. So yan yung kimpara na tawag natin. So kimpara, kidnapping, infanticide. Yes, Robin? Murder? Ano yun? May question ka?
Yes, sir.
Ano?
Sir, yung kahapon po kasi 'di ba naalala niyo po nagtanong ako about dun sa may yung napag-usapan natin yung sa ba instigation, sir.
Okay.
Kasi ang nabanggit niyo po na yung planting of evidence, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ay ang penalty niya po ay reclusion perpetua. So, yung sa reclusion perpetua po ba, sir, kimpara lang po ba ang crimes na nakapaloob doon o meron pang iba
Ay,
na
hindi.
nakapaloob sa reclusion?
Ay, hindi. Ganito. Di ba sinabi ko na these are the common crimes lang. Hindi ibig sabihin na dito lang these are the common crimes. Common lang to yung mga kidnapping, infanticide, murder, parricide, and rape. Hindi ko sinabi na kimpara lang yung punishable with death Sabi ko, these are the common crimes. Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Baka hindi mo naintindihan. Okay. Ay, yung iba, nakuha ninyo? Kasi di ba sinabi ko, these are the common crimes
Mali.
lang. Okay, baka iba lang yung pag-interpret mo. So, ayan, yung sa Kimpara, hindi yan hindi lang yan sila yung pinapunish natin ng reclusion perpetua to death. Marami pang iba. Of course, these are the common crimes sa revised penal code. Kapag yung mga planting of evidence, of course, that is sa special law na yon kasi sa 9165. So, we are talking ngayon dito, class, sa revised penal code. Book 1 pa lang tayo at book 2, ha. Wag muna tayo pumunta sa special law. Pero okay lang yun, nagtanong kayo. Pero sabi ko, these are the common crimes lang. Ito yung mga common na na-encounter natin na crimes kasi yung mga planting of evidence, hindi naman masyadong tinatanong or yung about sa mga special law kasi nakasunod tayo sa TOS. Of course, ang mostly na lumalabas dyan, kidnapping, infanticide, murder, parricide, and rape. So, nakuha ba? Clear tayo? Nakuha, class? Nakuha? Nasundan ninyo? Okay, so ayan. So
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
baka mali lang pag-interpret niyo. Kaya sinabi ko, 'di ba, these are the common crimes na matatawag natin. Pero hindi to sila lang. Marami pa actually. Okay, so dapat clear kayo So of course, pwede kayong magtanong ka para ma-clear natin. Okay, so again, pag sinabi natin criminal law, so of course it defines crime, traits of their nature, and provides for their penalty or punishment. So that's why tinatawag siya na DTP. So yun ang tandaan niyo DTP pag na-encounter niyo ang term na criminal law. Minsan na-encounter ninyo sa ibang mga notes or mga nakalagay doon. It is a branch of municipal law. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng municipal law, class? Ano yung ibig sabihin ng municipal law minsan sa ibang mga notes or sa ibang mga review materials may encounter nyo, dinedefine niya ang criminal law as branch of municipal law. So ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Meron ba kayong idea? Meron kayong idea?
Ordinance po ba, sir?
Hindi. Ano ibig sabihin ng iba, di ba minsan may nasa ibang mga notes nakalagay, it is also, ang criminal law daw, it is a branch of municipal law. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Yung tinatawag niya na branch of municipal law. Para mas maliwanagan kayo or mas deep yung alam niyo. Ano 'yon? Okay, very good, William. Pag sinabi nating municipal law, hindi ibig sabihin yan sa munisipyo ninyo or sa city, okay? Kasi pag sinabi nating a branch of municipal law, ibig sabihin that is a local law. Ibig sabihin that is applicable only in the Philippines. So that's why yan yung tinatawag natin na criminal law. PTP, it defines crime, traits of their nature, and provides for their penalty. Kaya minsan, it is a branch of municipal law that defines crime, traits of their nature, and provides for their penalty or punishment. So that's why, class, wag kayong ma-confuse. Ang ibig sabihin nun, hindi nyo, do not define it literally. Iba yung public law. Mamaya explain natin what is public law. So, wag nyo i-define literally kasi mawawala kayo dyan. Ang ibig sabihin nun ng municipal law or it is a branch of municipal law, ibig sabihin local na law or it is applicable only within the Philippines. Okay? So, yeah. Then, of course, we have the French Code, Spanish Código Penal, Act number 3815, and the penal laws. Pag sinabi nating French Code, class, that is the origin of the SKP. What is SKP? That is Spanish Código Penal. Again, ang French Code, that the origin of French Code, class, or the origin of Spanish Código Penal, nanggaling yan sa French Code. Okay, nakuha? Then ang Spanish Código Penal naman or the SKP, yan naman ang origin ng revised penal code or that is also known as the Act number 3815. While ang Act number 3815, tinatawag rin natin yan minsan, class, as the revised penal code or the general law. Then ang penal laws, of course, we already discussed this yesterday. Pag sinabi nating penal laws, that is any law that provides penalty or imposes penalty, tinatawag natin yan na penal law. Nakuha ba? Ulitin ko. Pag sinabi nating French Code, that is the origin of the Spanish Código Penal. Ang Spanish Código Penal naman, that is the origin of the revised penal code or tinatawag natin minsan na Act number 3815. And then yung Act number 3815, tinatawag rin natin yan na revised penal code or tinatawag natin na general law. Then ang penal laws, any law that imposes penalty or imposes punishment, tinatawag natin na penal law. Okay, so halimbawa, ang revised penal code, nagbibigay siya ng penalty or punishment, so pwede natin siyang tawagin as penal law. Yung special law, yung mga special laws na meron tayo, mga Republic Acts, mga presidential decrees, and so on, pwede rin natin tatawagin yan as penal law kasi nagbibigay rin sila ng punishment or penalty. Then yung city or municipal ordinances, kapag you violate yung city or municipal ordinance, pwede rin natin tawagin sila as penal law kasi nga they imposes penalty or they provides penalty or punishment on a particular violation of law. So tandaan nyo, pag sinabi nating penal laws, any law that imposes a penalty or punishment, tatawagin natin yan na penal law or penal in nature or it provides a penalty or punishment. So tatawagin natin yan na penal law. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next tayo. Then, of course, we will go back to basic. So, of course, when it comes to dates sa board exam, hindi na sila nagtatanong sa board exam na mga dates, mga pangalan, and so on. But, of course, kailangan na for the purposes na para ma-connect ninyo kung bakit you come up or bakit ina-explain natin to. Dapat alam nyo rin yung brief lang, yung konting ano lang, kahit hindi lalabas sa board exam, dapat alam nyo rin, di ba? So, of course, ang Act number 3815 or yung tinatawag natin na revised penal code that was approved into law on December 8, 1930. Then, ang kanyang effectivity naman, that is January 1, 1932 to police power. So, yung tinatawag natin na police power, of course, that is the power of the government. Iba class ang tinatawag natin na powers of the government sa branches of the government. Tatlo-tatlo yan, di ba? In the power of the government, tulad dyan, we have the police power, we have the power of taxation and the power of eminent domain. Tama? In the branches of the government, we have the legislative branch, the executive, and of course, the judiciary. Pag sinabi nating police power, that is the power of the government or the state to enact laws or to create laws. That is the police power. Pag sinabi naman nating power of eminent domain, of course, that is the power of the government or state to take private property for public use. But of course, kailangan may just compensation, babayaran. Hindi lang basta-basta kukunin ang property. Then, of course, we have the power of taxation. Ang power of taxation naman, that is the power of the government or the state to collect or to raise revenue or to basically collect taxes. That is the power of taxation. Ulitin ko, we have the three powers of the government na may explain na natin yan sa CGS and the human rights. So again, ulitin natin. So we have the police power. Police power, that is the power of the government to create or to enact laws. Pag sinabi naman natin uh, power of the eminent domain, that is the power of the government to take private property for public use, but of course with compensation, with just compensation. And the power of taxation, that is the power of the government to collect taxes or to raise revenue para of course may magamit sa mga services na ibibigay ng government. While the branches of the government, tatlo rin yan. So we have legislative, executive, and judiciary. On the legislative branch of the government, of course, it is the branch of the government to create or to enact laws. Sila yung binubuo ng ano natin, House, yung tinatawag natin na Congress. The upper house, that is the House of Senate, and the lower house, that is the House of Representatives. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng Congress class. So they have the power to create or enact laws. Then on the executive or on the judiciary naman, of course, they have they are the branch or sila yung branch ng government na nagsisettle ng mga cases or they settle disputes and actual controversies in court. So that's why judiciary. And then on the executive branch of the government, of course, they have yung tinatawag natin na executive, of course, they enforce the law. Okay, of course, si president rin, yung bill, siya yung magsasign para maging batas na yung bill na na-propose ng Congress natin. Okay, so yan. So, okay na ba? So, gano'n ang tatlong branches natin. But of course, i-explain na natin yan pagdating sa CGS. So, ayan. Nakuha ba? Okay. Sino po yung taga-interpret ng batas? Of course, ang taga-interpret ng batas natin, pupunta yan palagi sa judiciary. Okay, sa judiciary. Trabaho yan ng judge to interpret the law. Okay, but that is very basic question na. Tapos maraming nagkakamali dyan. Kasi legislative daw ang nag-interpret. No. Always go back to basic para wag ka, hindi ka malito. Okay? So, next tayo. Okay, under the new TOS, of course, nandun yung theories in criminal law and of course yung characteristics of criminal law natin. So, pasadahan na natin to. Ang juristic or classical theory, kaya nagkaroon tayo class ng JOC formy dito na acronym. So, ibig sabihin ng JOC, yung GAU, that is juristic, ibig sabihin ng other term niya is classical. Yung for naman, yung PO, positivist, yung R, realistic theory. Yung may naman, mixed or electric theory. So kaya nagkaroon tayo ng joke forming. So ang juristic or classical theory, of course, naka-based yan sa human free will. Of course, people have the right to choose whether they will choose the right or wrong. Then the purpose of penalty dito is retribution or yung naka-base yan sa the law of talons. An eye for an eye, the tooth for a tooth, di ba? Then kung ano yung kinuha mo, yun rin yung kabayaran. Pag sinabi naman nating positivist or realistic theory, sinasabi dyan that the crime is a social and natural phenomenon na nangyayari sa society or community. Then ang purpose ng penalty dito is reformation to rehabilitate offenders. In the mixed or electric theory, that is the combination of two, the juristic or classical and positivist or realistic. But when it comes to the punishment or the purpose of punishment, they are more compassionate than, of course, that is the adopted one in the Philippines. Okay, so yan class, ang three theories in criminal law natin. Juristic or classical, human free will on the purpose of the punishment, retribution, positivist or realistic theory naman, crime as a social and natural phenomenon, ang purpose ng penalty is reformation, and the mixed or electric, that is combination. When it comes to penalty or punishment, they are more compassionate. Then, of course, doon sa number 1 na sa bagong TOS natin, nakalagay doon na dapat i-discuss natin ang tatlong characteristics of criminal law. Okay, so ang tatlong characteristics of criminal law, very important to. Kasi very basic rin ang tanungan dito palagi. Tapos minsan nagkakamali pa yung mga students or nagkakamali pa yung nagte-take ng board exam, di ba? So ang tatlong characteristics of criminal law, of course, we have the acronym na GTP, di ba? Yung G that stands for generality, yung T that stands for territoriality, and yung P that is stands for prospectivity. So ang tatlong characteristic of criminal law class, nakalagay di ba doon number 1 or number 2 sa bagong TOS, na dapat alam nyo or yung examinee must master this one or yung kahit magte-take kayo sa February 2025, same lang pa rin yan. So ang characteristic of criminal law, tandaan nyo lang tatlo GTP, generality, territoriality, and prospectivity. Pag sinabi natin generality, of course, nakatukoy yan, tumutukoy yan sa tao, of course, the person. Territoriality naman sa place or sa lugar. Then pag sinabi natin prospectivity, the time. Okay, so dito sa generality, ang tandaan nyo lang dyan na keywords, kasi siya lang yung gumagamit ng keyword na binding all or obligatory. Kaya huwag niyong palitan class yung nababasa ninyo sa book or sa CODAL, yun talaga. Okay, so wag niyong i-interchange ang definition nila or yung keywords na ginagamit nila. So pag sinabi nating generality, tandaan niyo class, it is a characteristic of criminal law that binding all or it is obligatory to all person who live, ibig sabihin naninirahan, and sojourning in the Philippine territory. Again, pag sinabi natin sojourning class, what is that meant? Ano ibig sabihin ng sojourning? Okay, again, pag sinabi natin generality, it is a characteristic of criminal law that binding all or it is obligatory to all person who live and sojourning in the Philippines. Ano ibig sabihin ng sojourning? Residing? Hindi. What is sojourning class? Ang residing is living. Who live. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng sojourning class? Halimbawa, I'm a foreigner dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos pumunta ako dito. Okay? So ang sojourning class, of course, mga dayuhan or visit, they're just visiting the country for temporary. So yan yung ang tinatawag natin class na the living, okay? So of course naninirahan sa Pilipinas. Then yung mga of course class, yung mga foreigner natin kapag pumunta dito sa Pilipinas, they are also obliged or they binds yung tinatawag natin, they are binding with our criminal law. So kailangan nilang sumunod sa ating criminal law. Unless na lang they are yung mga exempted. But of course, we will focus more dito sa pinaka-general niya. So again, tandaan natin, pag sinabi natin generality, that is, it talks about, of course, the person, meaning John, it is a characteristic of criminal law that binding all or it is obligatory, correct, to all person who live and sojourning in the Philippine territory. So pag sinabi naman nating territoriality class, ang tanda nyo lang yan na keyword, ang ginagamit ng territoriality, wala nang iba ha, kahit tingnan nyo pa, enforceable or applicable. So pag sinabi nating territoriality, of course, that is the characteristic of criminal law that is enforceable or applicable within the Philippine territory. So again, pag sinabi nating territoriality, so meaning class, our criminal law is only applicable or only enforceable within our Philippine territory. Kaya tinatawag natin yan class na territoriality. So pag sinabi naman natin prospectivity, ang tanda nyo lang class, our criminal law has no retroactive effect. Again, ulitin natin, ang prospectivity, our criminal law has no retroactive effect. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo bumabalik sa nakaraan. We will move forward. So yan yung tinatawag natin na prospectivity. No retroactive effect. So kailan natin class matatawag or kailan natin malalaman that there is a retroactive effect ang ating batas? Kailan natin? Sige, pakilagay sa comment section. Okay, very good. Okay, so kapag ano class, sinasabi natin general rule, our criminal law has no retroactive effect unless it is favorable to the accused. That's the time our criminal law has a retroactive effect. Halimbawa, just like for example, ang batas natin dati, nakulong yung isang tao because of the illegal possession of firearms. Just like for example, uh, 10 years ang kanyang punishment or penalty na binigay ng korte. Sorry. Okay, 10 years ang punishment or penalty na binigay ng korte. Then after that, merong bagong batas or may bagong batas class na nag-amend sa yung illegal possession of firearms na 6 years na lang. So pwede ba nating i-ano yun sa kanya? I-apply? Of course pwede kasi it is favorable to the accused. Okay? Yan yung tinatawag natin na prospectivity. How about naman class kapag ganito? Halimbawa, ipagpalagay natin yung illegal possession of firearms, nakulong siya, binigyan siya ng korte ng, just like for example, 10 years of imprisonment. Yun yung penalty niya or yung criminal liability niya. Then after that, meron namang bagong batas na nagsasabi na itataas ngayon ang penalty ng crime na nakomit niya. Halimbawa, yung illegal possession of firearms, tinaas na siya ngayon sa 20 years. Pwede ba natin yung i-apply sa kanya? Pwede ba natin yung i-apply sa convicted individual na yon? Of course, it is no. Of course, kasi nga, we are following the prospectivity na at our criminal law has no retroactive effect. Nakuha ba? Okay, so ulitin natin as a summary. Ulitin ko. So pag sinabi natin three characteristics of criminal law, so we have the GTP, ang tanda nyo lang na acronym yan. Yung GTP that stands for generality, territoriality, and prospectivity. Pag sinabi natin generality, characteristic of criminal law, it is the characteristic of criminal law that binding all or obligatory to all person who live and sojourning in the Philippine territory. So that is territorial, that is generality. Pag sinabi naman natin territoriality, so our criminal law is enforceable and applicable within the Philippine territory. Pag sinabi naman natin prospectivity, it talks about the time or our criminal law has no retroactive effect. Magkakaroon lang ng retroactive effect when it is favorable to the accused. So yan yung tinatawag natin class na prospectivity. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo?
Yes, sir.
So ganun kasimple ang characteristics of criminal law class. So dapat alam nyo. Then of course, ma-apply natin yan kapag 2 months or 1 month before the board exam. Magkaroon tayo ng mga Q&A, rationalization, and all. Yun yung ginagawa namin dati. Okay, so before the board exam. So yan. So of course, we have the French rule versus English rule. So hindi naman nakalagay doon sa ano class sa bagong TOS na lalabas to. But of course, kailangan na natin daanan, no? Okay, so para alam nyo in case, no, na itatanong or kukuha sila ng tanong out of the TOS, the new TOS. Then, pag sinabi natin French rule class, tinatawag natin yan minsan na flag or nationality rule. Again, pag sinabi nating French rule, tinatawag na natin minsan yan na flag or nationality rule. Ang English rule class, of course, that is the adopted one or yan yung inadopt ng Pilipinas, yung English rule. Kung ang French rule, tinatawag natin na flag or nationality rule, ang English rule naman, tinatawag natin yan na territoriality or situs of the crime. So doon tayo naka-base. So, of course, class, ang French rule and English rule, ina-apply natin yan on crimes na nakomit aboard a vessel or within the aboard the vessels. Dito sa French rule, of course, yung mga crimes na nangyari aboard a vessel, sakay sa vessel within territorial waters of another country, yung mga crimes na yun, class, are not triable in the court of that particular country. Ulitin ko. Pag sinabi natin French rule class, yung mga crimes aboard the vessels or na-commit doon sa vessel within the territorial waters of another country, so under the French rule, yung mga crimes na yon are not triable or hindi tinatryan ng hearing in that court of that particular country. So that is the French rule. Dito naman sa English rule class, kapag halimbawa may crimes na nangyari aboard a vessel within the territorial waters of another country, doon class are triable in that country. Okay, so it is triable in that country. Kabaliktaran ng French rule. Okay, kailan naman class, di ba sinabi natin, under the French rule, hindi nila trial and hearing doon sa kanilang bansa kapag may nangyaring krimen doon sa vessel, doon sa kanilang water or yung territorial waters nila. Kailan nila ngayon ita-trial and hearing. Okay? Ita-trial and hearing nila, guys, papasok yan sa exemption kapag it already affect the peace and security of the nation or the territory. Nakuha ba ninyo? Ulitin ko. Under the French rule, hindi din natin na-trial and hearing yung mga crimes aboarding the vessels or nakasakay sa vessels within their territorial waters or yung sa katubigan nila unless, okay, ita-trial and hearing nila yan kapag it is already affecting the peace and the security of the nation. That's the time dito sa French rule na magkakaroon sila ng trial and hearing. Nakuha ba ninyo? Dito naman sa English rule, di ba? Kapag may nangyaring krimen, aboarding or aboard sa vessel within the territorial waters, tina-trial and hearing nila yan sa bansa mismo, ano ba, sa Pilipinas. May nangyari dito na napatayan or nasakay sa vessel within our territorial waters. Di ba? Tina-trial and hearing natin. So, kailan naman natin matatawag or kailan naman natin hindi i-trial and hearing o hindi natin i-try yung mga crimes na yon? Kapag it only affects the things within the vessel when they only refer to the internal management. Okay? Kapag ang problema is only the within the internal management or within the vessel, okay? So walang pakialam, halimbawa sa Pilipinas, hindi yan ita-trial and hearing ng bansa natin. Nakuha ba ninyo? Ulitin natin, ang French rule, kapag may nangyaring crimes aboard a vessel within our territorial waters, they are not triable in that particular country. Hindi na trial and hearing. So babalik yan kung sa ano yung origin ng bansa na yon. So kapag kailan naman yan ita-trial and hearing? Kapag, of course, papasok sa exemption with it affects the peace and security of the territory or the nation, that's the time ita-trial and hearing nila. Dito naman sa English rule, of course, di ba, tina-trial and hearing natin kapag there is a crimes aboard a vessel within a territorial waters of another country, tina-trial and hearing yan in that particular country. Pero kailan naman hindi makikialam or kailan naman hindi ita-trial and hearing kapag it only affects the things within the vessel or ang problema is on the internal management of that vessel. Okay? So yan yung kaibahan, class, ng English rule and French rule. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ang tandaan nyo dito are not triable in that country, that is French rule. English rule naman, triable. Okay, so So far, hindi naman masyadong complicated ang mga question dyan kapag sa French rule and English rule. Kapag ilang season na ilang board exam na nagdaan, hindi naman masyado. As long as alam mo yung ano niya, alam mo yung exemption, alam mo yung definition niya, alam mo yung concept, kung paano gumagana ang French rule and English rule. So, wala kang problema doon. Then, of course, we have the legal maxims in criminal law. So, ano lang to, pampagana lang ng utak ninyo, class. So, pag sinabi natin nolom crimen, nola pena, sine what is that? Okay, number 2, actus non pacitrium nisi minsetrea. Number 3, actus min vito factus non est meus actus. Number 4, el qui es causa de la causa is causa del mal causado. What is that? In dubio pro reo. Number 6, dura lex sed lex. 7, ignorantia lehis non excusat. Number 8, ignorantia facti excusat. So ito yung legal maxims natin, class. Ito naman yung translation niya. Of course, number 1, there is no crime when there is no law punishes it. Kasi di ba kung walang nagsasabi na mali pala or that is in violation of law yung act natin or there is no law na nagsasabi na ang action natin is mali, of course, hindi tayo pwedeng parusahan. Tama? Then, the act cannot be criminal unless the mind is criminal. An act done by me against my will is not my act. Then number 4, he who is the cause of the evil cause. Then yung number 5 dito, very important, class. In dubio pro reo, when in doubt for the accused. Meron tayong tinatawag, class, na rule kapag, 'di ba, sa korte, meron tayong dalawang party. We have the prosecution party and the defense party. The prosecution party representing the victim and the defense party representing the accused. So dito, class, it is applicable doon. When in doubt for the accused. Halimbawa, the evidence presented by both parties, the prosecution party and the defense party is equally balanced or equally balanced. Ibig sabihin, walang lumamang or walang mas lamang sa dalawa. Okay, evenly balanced, balance yung evidence presented by both parties na tinatawag natin. So when the evidence is presented by prosecution and by the defense or is equally balanced, so kailan or it will tilt in favor of what? Okay, again, ulitin ko. Kapag ang evidence na na-present ni prosecution and the defense is equally balanced, ibig sabihin balance, walang lumamang. So it will tilt in favor of kanino kanino pupunta or sino yung mananalo. Okay, that's the time it will in favor of the accused. Okay, anong tawag natin doon, class, sa rule na yon kapag ang evidence presented by both parties, the defense and then the accused or the defense and the prosecution party, yung ebidensya na present nila equally balanced, walang mas lamang, anong tawag natin doon na rule? Or what is anong pangalan natin or anong tawag natin na doctrine doon, class? What is that doctrine? Anong doctrine yon kapag yung evidence presented by both parties is equally balanced? Okay, very good, Jeffrey. That is equipoise rule or equipoise doctrine. Okay, so tama? So very good. So ang tawag natin dyan is equipoise rule or equipoise doctrine. Ibig sabihin doon, when the evidence presented by both parties, the prosecution and the prosecution and the defense is equally balanced. So that is equipoise rule. So it will tilt, ibig sabihin, ang mananalo dyan, it will be favored to the accused. Okay, ganun na tanda nyo, Kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng when in doubt for the accused. So ang ibig sabihin ng class, kapag equipoise rule, the prosecution fails to establish the guilt of the accused. Ibig sabihin, they failed or medyo nagkulang or sa kasalanan nila or there is a lacking class. So that's why tinatawag natin na equipoise rule or equipoise doctrine. So when in doubt for the accused, tinatawag natin yan na in dubio pro reo. Okay, so nakuha? The law may be harsh, but it is the law. Of course, class, halimbawa, sa 111131, so the law may be harsh, but it is the law. So, kasi di ba, may mga 85% na bumagsak, may 75.1 na pumasa. So, kaya nga, di ba, wala kayong magagawa doon when it comes to the application of the law. Kasi nandiyan na yan eh. Batas na yan. The law may be harsh, but it is the law. So you must face, di ba, the consequence, or you must face uh, yung tapang or yung tinatawag natin na uh, pagsubok, di ba, na dala ni 1131. Kasi nga, the law may be harsh, but it is the law. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from compliance therewith. And of course, honest mistake of fact, sorry, misapprehension of facts yan. Mamaya, explain natin yan further, one by one. Okay, so we have the limitations and the power of the Congress to enact penal laws. Again, pag sinabi natin Congress class, that is composed of two houses. The upper house, that is the House of Senate, or yung mga senators natin. Then pag sinabi naman natin the lower house, that is the House of Representatives na meron tayo in every district in the Philippines. So doon kaya nagkaroon tayo ng Congress. So ito yung mga limitations na of course mga hindi dapat gawin or yung scope lang ng power of the Congress to enact penal laws. Of course, class, una dyan, dapat walang ex post facto law as stipulated in the 1987 Constitution. No ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted. Of course, hindi kayo familiar dyan or familiar kayo, but this is the legal definition of ex post facto law. Pag sinabi natin ex post facto law, it makes criminal an act done before the passage of law and which was innocent when done and punishes such act. Okay? So hindi natin pwedeng i-punish class yung isang action or nagawa niya in the past na wala pa namang batas or wala pa namang law na nagsasabi na yung ginawa niya before is against the law. Kaya nga tinatawag natin yan na ex post facto law. So pinagbabawal yan ng Constitution natin to make criminal an act done before the passage of law. Of course, innocent when done and punishes such act. So hindi natin pwede sabihin na halimbawa sa anti-photo and video voyeurism before yung mga nag-commit before, di ba, kapag halimbawa na-post nila yung mga videos and so on, then after that, without the consent of the parties, tapos wala pa namang batas na anti-photo and video voyeurism before, tapos hindi mo sila pwedeng sampahan ng kaso kasi walang batas na nagsasabi that yung action nila is that is against the law. Kaya nga pinagbabawal yan sa ating bansa, yung ex post facto law. Kasi nga dapat meron talagang batas or meron talagang law na magsasabi that the action of that person is against the law. Kaya tinatawag natin na bawal ang ex post facto law. Okay? So bawal rin, aside from that, ang ex post facto law, yung it changes the penalty, di ba? Itataas niya, halimbawa, binigyan siya ngayon ng korte ng reclusion temporal, tapos may bagong batas na sa nakomit niya na crime, itataas ngayon sa reclusion perpetua. So parang ano siya class. So that is against rin sa ex post facto law. So connected rin yan sila. So dapat bawal yan. Then ang Bill of Attainder, that is also unconstitutional or it is not allowed under the law, or that is also one of the limitations of the power of the Congress to enact penal laws na tinatawag natin. Okay. So, ang Bill of Attainder, okay, so, ang tanda nyo lang class kapag Bill of Attainder ang na-encounter ninyo, it is a legislative act that inflicts punishment without trial and hearing. So, yung basta-basta na lang, ibibigyan ka ng punishment or penalty na walang due process of law. So, di ba, pag sinabi natin due process, it is a law that hears before it condemns. It proceeds upon inquiry and renders judgment only after trial. Ibig sabihin, bago mo i-pronounce or bago ka i-pronounce na guilty via reasonable doubt, yung tinatawag natin class na of a particular crime. So dapat magkakaroon mo na class ng trial and hearing. So there is a due process dapat magkaroon ng preliminary investigation, merong mga process or on our criminal procedure para matatawag natin class that there is a due process. Okay? So ang tawag natin dyan, tandaan niyo ang una class on the limitation of the power of the Congress to enact penal laws. Dapat una, walang ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted in the Philippines. Pag sinabi nating ex post facto law, it makes a criminal an act done before the passage of law, which was innocent when done and punished as such act. Bawal yan. Then ang bill of attainder, it is a legislative act that inflicts punishment without trial. So dapat magkakaroon muna ng due process. Ibig sabihin, dapat merong sinusunod na proseso. There is a trial and hearing na dapat sundin class para maging matatawag natin na there is a due process. Kasi under the Constitution, bawal ang pag-create or mag-enact ng ex post facto law or bill of attainder. Okay? So nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, next tayo. Okay, so dito naman class, number 2, of course, sa limitation and the power of the Congress, no person shall be held to answer for a criminal offense without due process of law. Yung tinatawag natin class na dapat there is a complaint na ma-file muna sa'yo. Then after that, magkakaroon ng preliminary investigation and so on para malaman natin that there is a due process of law. Ibig sabihin, sinunod. Kapag kasi class na hindi sunod yon, of course, that is violation, no? But pwede mo yang i-dismiss ang kaso mo. Kapag pumunta na tayo sa criminal procedure, kung paano i-dismiss yan. Okay, so number 3, should not impose cruel or unusual punishment and excessive fines. Ibig sabihin, dapat hindi yung susobra-sobra or sumobra. Ito lang na-commit siya ng crime theft, tapos binigyan mo ngayon ng ng penalty na reclusion perpetua to death tapos pinabayaran mo na ang fines na umabot ng 1 million. So, dapat hindi ganon. Kasi nga under the Constitution, the government or the state should not impose cruel or unusual punishment and excessive fines. Okay? Kasi nga that is sumobra na yung tinatawag natin na abuse of authority mo. Lalo-lalo kapag sa mga judge, di ba? Okay, should not impose cruel or unusual punishment and excessive fines or penalty. So dapat kung ano lang yung crime na nakomit mo, so dapat doon rin magbe-based yung severity ng penalty or punishment or yung fines na ibibigay sa kanya ng korte or ng state natin. The number 4, it must be general in application and it must define clearly the facts of omissions punished as crimes. So of course, general and application class. So dapat clear sa kanya, convincing kung ano yung crime na na-commit niya or anong crime na na-violate niya. Okay, so yes, yung number 2 is due process. Okay, dapat due process. Pag sinabi natin due process class, it is a type of law, okay, that hears before it condemns, proceeds upon inquiry, and renders judgment only after trial. Okay? So, this is book 1. Bakit hindi ka nakapasok, Sonny Boy? Okay, so ayan, book 1 to class ha. So dapat, ayan, no person shall be held to answer for a criminal offense without the due process of law. Then of course, meron tayong the right to, the primary right of the suspect. Kapag the primary right of the suspect class, that is the right to remain silent, tama? The primary right of the accused is the presumption of innocence. Then third, should not impose cruel or unusual punishment and excessive fines. Then dapat it must be general and application. Pag sabi general application, dapat ma-define clearly ang facts of the commission of as punished as crimes para clear sa kanya, di ba? Kasi kapag hindi, of course, kailangan mag-file ng bill of particulars. Dapat mas specific. Then, of course, yung pinakauna dyan na limitations on the power of the Congress to enact penal laws, dapat walang tinatawag natin na ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted in the Philippines. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na limitations on the power of the Congress to enact laws. Nakuha ba ninyo? Nasundan?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ito yung distinction class ng mala prohibita and mala inse. Pakibasa, nandyan si Sir Robin. Nandyan siya.
Yes, sir.
Sige, pakibasa
Lahat,
sir.
sir.
Yung nature, yung distinction nila mala prohibita, mala inse. Kung kaya mo lahat or kalahati na lang. Kaya naman?
Kaya lahat, sir. Kaya.
Sige, sige. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Distinctions of nature. Malainse, wrong from its very nature. Mala prohibita, wrong because it is prohibited by law. Use of good faith as a defense. Malainse, good faith is a defense. In mala prohibita, good faith is not a defense. An intent as an element. In malainse, intent is element. In mala prohibita, criminal intent is immaterial. Degree of accomplishment. In mala inse, degree is taken into account. In mala prohibita, gives rise to a crime only when it is consummated. Mitigating and aggravating circumstance. In mala inse, rule of mitigating and aggravating circumstance apply. In mala prohibita, rule of mitigating and aggravating circumstance do not apply. Degree of participation. In mala inse, degree of participation of each offender is taken into account. In mala prohibita, degree of participation is generally not taken into account. Penalty. In mala inse, principal, accomplice, or accessory. In mala prohibita, penalty imposed on the offenders are the same. Law violated. In mala inse, violation of RPC or revised penal code. In mala prohibita, violation of special laws. Stages in execution. In mala inse, attempted, frustrated, and consummated. In mala prohibita, no such stages of execution. Persons criminally liable. In mala inse, principal, accomplices, and accessory. In mala prohibita, only the principal is liable. In divisions of penalties, in mala inse, divided into degrees and periods. But in mala prohibita, there is no such division of penalties.
Okay, thank you. So, ayan. So, we have thank you, sir. Okay, so i-define lang natin, class, yung distinction between the mala inse and mala prohibita. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na mala inse and mala prohibita. So, pero very basic to, no? So, ang pinaka-focus niyo kasi ang dami, di ba? So, ang focus natin dito, dapat alam mo lang yung nature, yung law violated, the stages and execution, and the persons criminally liable. So, pag sinabi nating mala inse, of course, that is even in itself or it is inherently wrong. Okay, so kaya yung tinatawag natin na mala inse. Kasi nga, evil in itself or inherently wrong. So, we have the mala prohibita. Mali lang yan because, sorry, there is a law prohibited the act. So that's why it is mala prohibita. So sa law violated, class, tandaan nyo, class, kapag mala inse yan, ang na-violate mo na batas is the revised penal code or the RPC. Dito naman, kapag mala prohibita, ang na-violate mo na batas is the special laws na tinatawag natin. Okay, so yan yung the law violated. So halimbawa dito sa law violated, yung sa RPC, yung murder or homicide, of course, that is evil in itself or inherently wrong. Kasi di ba ang pagpatay, it is inherently wrong yung tinatawag natin dyan. Okay, so ayan. Then pag sinabi natin special law, of course, that is violation of special law. So there is a law prohibited na act. Halimbawa, sa drugs, di ba? So there is a special law on drugs. So that is, mali lang yan. Ano ba, yung paggamit ng marijuana, there is a medical use naman talaga, di ba? Na matatawag natin. Pero kapag sumobra na, hindi rin pwede or hindi rin nakakabuti. That's why, mali lang yan because there is a law prohibited the act. Okay, again, ang na-violate mo na batas dito kapag mala-INSE, violation na ng revised penal code, while ang sa mala-prohibita, in violation of special law. In the stages of execution class, kapag ang na-violate mo na mga crimes is listed or are listed in the revised penal code, it will be taken into account yung ating stages of execution, whether it is attempted, frustrated, and consummated. Pero kapag special law class, halimbawa na lang sa drugs, yung possession of drugs or use of drugs, automatic class, no such stages of execution. So meaning lahat class consummated lahat-lahat. Okay? Walang attempted, walang frustrated, consummated lahat ang dito sa special law. Nakuha ninyo? Then dito sa persons criminally liable, kung sa Malainse or kung siya tinatawag natin na ang na-violate mo is the revised penal code, merong tayong tinatawag na principal, accomplices, and accessories. While on kapag na-violate mo naman class ang special law, only the principal is liable. So lahat kayo principal. So nakuha ba? Persons criminally liable. Ulitin natin, ang persons criminally liable kapag that is mala-INSE or na-violate mo is the revised penal code, meron niyang principal, accomplices, and accessory. Then kapag sa special law naman, ang na-violate mo, only the principal is liable or punishable. Then on the division of penalties, class, it is divided into the degree and periods. Dito naman sa special, walang degree and period. So dapat alam nyo class, alam nyo ang nature. Hindi lang dapat alam nyo ang nature. Of course, lahat na magte-take sa board exam or majority na magte-take sa board exam, ang alam lang nila, pag sinabi nating mala-inse and mala-prohibita, yung nature niya. Okay? Ang nature, wrong from its very nature. Ang mala-prohibita, wrong because there is a law prohibited the act. Kapag na-violate mo is revised penal code, that is mala-inse. Kapag na-violate mo is special law, that is mala-prohibita. In the stages of execution in mala-inse or in the revised penal code, yung attempted, frustrated, and consummated, it is taken into account. Kapag sa walang prohibita naman, lahat yan consummated. In a person's criminally liable, of course, kapag na-violate mo yung mga crimes listed in the revised penal code, merong principal, accomplices, and accessory. Then ang mala-prohibita naman or special law, only the principal is liable. Okay. Okay, ang VAUSI is a special law, of course, mala-prohibita yan. Okay? So, mala-prohibita. So, ganun class. Basta yung mga revised penal code class, yung mga crimes listed in the revised penal code, tinatawag natin yan na mala-inse. Okay? So, then ang mala-prohibita naman sa mga special laws natin. Nakuha ba? Nasundan? Okay na?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So, yun class. Okay. So ano ba ang kaibahan ni intent sa motive? Okay, ganito class. Ang intent, that is the purpose. Okay? Bakit nag-commit siya ng crime? Again, ang intent, that is the purpose why you committed a crime. Ang motive naman, nagkakaroon tayo in class ng acronym na MOMOPO. What is MOMOPO? That is yung MO, that stands for motive. Yung MOPO is the moving power. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng MOMOPO or the moving power. So, ang MOMOPO or the moving power, it is the reason or it is the moving power that compel someone to commit a crime. In the crime class, ang intent is an element of the crime, di ba? So, it is an element of the crime. Ang motive naman, it is not an element of the crime. So, it is not the consideration class. Okay. So, ang intent, that is the essential in intentional felonies, while in the motive naman, essential only when the identity of the perpetrator is in doubt. Okay, kapag is in question pa yung identity ng ating perpetrators or ng offender. Sure. Yun yung kaibahan ni intent and motive. Again, ulitin natin, ang intent, that is the purpose why someone committed a crime, while ang motive naman, or yung momo po, that is the reason or the moving power that compels someone to commit a crime. Ang kinoconsider natin dyan as an element of crime is an intent. Ang motive naman is, of course, that is not an element of the crime. Nakuha ba? Nasa lang class? Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yan. Ito yung criminal liability under the new TUS nakalagay rin dito. So, i-explain na natin. So, actually, malapit na nating matapos yung nakalagay doon. So we have criminal liability is incurred or how criminal liability is incurred. So but of course, kapag dito class, ang intended result mo is different from what is intended or different ang naging resulta. So under the criminal liability or how criminal liability is incurred, una dyan, we have the error in personae. Ang error in personae, of course, that is the mistake in the identity of the victim. Okay, halimbawa, may kalaban ka ngayon, tapos pinagdadaan or binatayan mo siya kung saan siya dadaan kapag umuwi siya. So, hindi mo alam, yung nabaril mo pala is yung kakambal niya kasi same yung physique nila, yung katawan, yung tangkad. Akala mo doon na, akala mo siya na yon si Mr. A. Yun pala si Mr. B, nakakambal niya ang napatay mo. So that is error in personae. So mistake in the identity of the victim. Ang tanong ngayon, are you criminally liable? Criminally liable ka ba
Yes,
doon?
sir.
Yes, of course, 'di ba? Happy ka naman kung hindi, no? Kasi nga that is error in personae, mistake in the identity of the victim. Pag sinabi naman nating aberratio ictus class, tinatawag natin yan minsan as the mistake in the blow. Or minsan, of course, hindi nyo to alam, yung iba, the transferred intent rule. So, ganito kasi yan, class. Ang aberratio ictus, ibig sabihin yan, the mistake in the blow or the transferred intent rule. Halimbawa, ang gusto mong barilin is si Mr. A. Nung binaril mo siya, ang bala pumunta kay Mr. B. Siya yung natamaan, siya yung namatay. So that is what we call aberratio ictus. Yung intention mo na patayin si Mr. A ay na-transferred kay Mr. B or na-transferred sa iba. Tinatawag natin yan na aberratio ictus or the transferred intent rule or mistake in the blow. Naka ba? Again, ulitin natin ang mistake in the blow. Tinatawag natin yan na aberratio ictus or the transferred intent rule. Okay, yung example kanina, binaril mo si Mr. A, yung bala pumunta kay Mr. B, siya yung namatay, that is aberratio ictus. Nawa? Then we have the praeter intentionem. Ang praeter intentionem class, the injurious result is greater than that intended. So dito sa praeter intentionem class, ibig sabihin yan, the result of the injury is greater from what is intended. Halimbawa, di ba, palagi nyo example, mainit yung ulo mo kasi binubuli yung anak mo, pinuntahan mo yung nang-bully sa kanya sa school. Tapos, pagdating mo doon, gusto mo lang siyang disiplinahin or gusto mo lang siyang sapalin, pero na-outbalance siya, nabugok yung ulo niya sa bato, namatay. That is greater intention in class. The result of the injury is greater from what is intended. Okay, so yun class. Ang greater intention, the result of the injury is greater from what is intended. Yes, homicide or murder kapag merong qualifying circumstance. Okay, so yan. So ulitin natin. How criminal liability is incurred. Una, we have the error in personae or tinatawag natin na mistake in the identity of the victim. Pag sinabi naman natin aberratio ictus, that is mistake in the blow or minsan tinatawag natin yan na transferred intent rule. And then the praeter intentionem, the result of the injury is greater from what is intended. Okay, so yan. Naglabas daw yung last February. Yung praeter intention and payment causing is death. Nice. Okay. So dapat na master niyo yung tatlo na to class. How criminal liability is incurred. Error in personae, aberratio ictus, and praeter intention. Okay, nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo class? Okay. Sige, Robin, may question ka?
Sir, yung tatlo po ba na yan, pasok yan sa under mitigating circumstance?
Yung ano yan? Ay, hindi. Magkaiba to class. It is under book 1 tayo. Criminal liability is incurred. Ibig sabihin, yung crime na nakumit mo or yung gusto mo talaga na maging resulta is different sa naging resulta na actual. So, hindi to papasok sa sa mitigating. Sa, of course, class, kapag sa mitigating, nasa korte na yan kung they will be taken into account as mitigating. Pero minsan, pumapasok, minsan, hindi. At the end of the day, nasa court pa rin class ang may last say. Okay, so yun. So, nakadepende pa rin yan sa korte kung kung i-mitigate ba yan or hindi. Okay, so yun lang. So, kapag sa board exam, hindi naman sila nagtatanong ng ganon. kung ma-mitigate ba or hindi kasi they are focusing more on the basic, di ba? Di ba yung ano dito, nag-take nung February, di ba lahat basic, no? Okay, basic ang tanungan doon kaya dapat marami kayong baon na basic. Okay, basic is the foundation. Yes, situational, then dapat basic understanding. Di ba dapat alam mo yung concept and so on, di ba? Concept, principles na binabasa mo. Kasi useless yan kapag alam mo nga pero hindi mo ma-apply pagdating sa board exam. So dapat alam mo yung concept kahit paulit-ulit or pasikot-sikot. So wag kayong kabahan class. Nasa basic or elements. So di ba? Elements ang ano doon. Elements ang pinaka-importante lalo na sa book 2. Okay. So dito tayo class. So we will explain yung impossible crime. Yes, mali lang kasi ng Q&A agad. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, tama 'yon sinabi ni Sir Victor. Okay, so dapat learn from experience na dapat hanggang ngayon dapat you accumulate yung mga information or basa muna kayo ng basa pag wag muna agad mag Q&A or yung magsasagot ng mga Q&A 1 to 100, 1 to 500 kasi it is not the right time pa. Marami pang time. 2 months or 1 month before the board exam, that's the time na okay, that's the time kayo magsagot ng mga Q&A na. It's early pa ngayon. Okay, so dapat sa inyo wala akong makitang magsagot-sagot agad ng mga Q&A, yung 100 items or 200 items. Pero of course, yung style ng discussion natin, may Q&A, may ganun, okay lang yon. Pero yung ano talaga, yung mas early ngayon na nagma-mockboard ka na or nakulang pa yung binabasa mo or medyo limited pa yung alam mo, huwag mo na ka mag Q&A class. Okay? So, learn from your kuya. Di ba? So, ayan. Of course, may mga Q&A tayo. Lalo na kapag 1 month or 2 months before the board exam, ano na yon, lahat rationalization. Di ba? Babawi kayo, di ba? Of course, there is a time. Okay? So, of course, ang book 2 natin, elements ang tinitira doon. Kahit saan naman, dapat alam mo yung principle, di ba? Okay, principle, ang concept. Kapag alam mo yon, wala kang problemahin pagdating sa board exam. Okay, so ano kaya na, i-refrain niyo yung pagko-Q&A agad-agad. Ngayon, you acquire knowledge. Dapat curious pa kayo ngayon kung ano yung mga babasahin, ano yung hindi dapat, and so on. So dito class, sa impossible crime, ang impossible crime is not a crime. Okay, that is a bar question rin. So criminology board question rin. Of course, iba-iba ang interpretation ng mga lawyers, no? So pag sinabi kasing impossible crime, ang pinapunish lang naman dyan class is the criminal propensity or the criminal tendency or yung tinatawag natin na danger na dala niya sa community natin. So yun yung tinatawag natin na impossible crime. So ang inadequate, halimbawa, sa impossible crime, inadequate, ibig sabihin kulang, small amount of poison. Nilagyan mo yung pagkain niya ng 1 kutsarang poison, hindi siya namatay. Kasi kailangan dapat ng 2 kutsara bago mamatay ang isang tao. So that is inadequate. That is impossible crime. Ang ineffectual naman class, a poison, halimbawa, poison and turn out not to be poison. Gusto mong lasunin yung misis mo, tapos akala mo poison ang nilagay mo sa kanyang kape, tapos it turn out pala na sugar. Okay, ibig sabihin, naging ibang resulta niya, nilagyan mo ng 2 kutsara, so kaya naging diabetic siya. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin class na ineffectual. So then of course, we have the legal impossibility, physical impossibility. So, ang legal impossibility class, killing a person that is already dead. Ano ba, akala mo pinatay mo siya or ikaw nakapatay sa kanya, pero patay na pala siya 2 hours ago. So that is legal impossibility. While in the physical impossibility under the impossible crime, halimbawa yan, yung a man with the intention to steal another's wallet, then it find out, nung nanakaw niya na yung wallet, wala palang laman or the pocket is empty. So that is physical impossibility. While another example, when a person steals a check which was later dishonored, ibig sabihin wala palang laman yung original ng original account nung check na yon, that is physical impossibility. So inadequate, small amount of poison, ibig sabihin hindi sapat, ineffectual, iba yung naging resulta sa intended or you wanted na result. Ang legal impossibility, Of course, marami tayo dyan. Ano ba? Killing a person that is already dead. Pwede ba bang patayin ang taong patay na? Of course, hindi. Under the physical impossibility, meron din tayo dyan. So again, under impossible crime, ang pinapunish natin dyan, class, is the criminal propensity or the criminal tendency or basically the danger na dala niya sa community. So yan yung impossible crime. So ano yung punishment natin sa impossible crime, class? Okay, arresto mayor. Okay, arresto mayor ang punishment natin sa impossible crime. So, of course, class, pag sinabi natin impossible crime, it is against person and property. So, yung mga repeaters natin na ano natin mga kaklase ninyo, so sila actually yung mas malaki yung chance na pumasa. Of course, you have to ano lang, ano, you have to check kung saan kayo nagkamali. Madali lang yun. Kapag, ay, dito ako weakness, ito yung weakness ko, dito ako nagkamali. But of course, you have to accept na nagkamali kayo doon. Di ba? Para makamove forward kayo. Then, of course, magaling na kayo kasi alam nyo na yung tanungan sa board exam. Then, of course, paglabas ng result, ang tataas niya ng average ninyong class. Kaya, ano lang, huwag kayong mawala ng pag-asa. Okay lang yung ma-discourage kayo bangon ulit, 'di ba? So kaya saludo ako dito sa mga ano natin, yung mga retakers natin and ano. So of course, malay nyo, 'di ba? Ang tataas ng average nila kasi i-assess na naman nila kung saan sila nagkamali doon. Pero ang information or ang knowledge, nandiyan na yan sa kanila. Okay? So, yan, class. Okay. So, lumabas daw last February, ano yun? Sabi ni Sir Victor. Impossible crime, raping a dead body ang question. Okay. So, raping, impossible crime of rape. So, yon. Ang impossible
Sir,
crime class is
sir,
yes. May question ba yun? Sino yun?
yung sa raping po ng dead body, sir, hindi po ba ano yun, sir? Necrophilia, sir?
Hindi. Kapag crime, of course, ang isagot mo doon is impossible crime. Kapag sexual deviation, necrophilia ang sagot mo doon. Kapag ang itanong doon sa criminology area. Kapag sa criminal law, crime ang isagot mo. Parang ganon. Basta, ano, ganon class ang mindset niyo ha. Kapag sa criminal law, ibig sabihin crime ang tinatanong niya, so sagutan niyo ng impossible crime or rape or impossible crime lang doon yung choices. Kapag pagdating sa criminology area, hindi nyo naman pwedeng isagot doon ang impossible crime. Tama? Tama ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
so
you, sir.
dapat ganon yung ano ninyo, mindset. Okay, okay lang. So dapat ganon class yung mga tanong ninyo para ma-clear natin ang mga doubts ninyo. So dapat ganito kasi yan. Kapag sumasagot kayo every area sa criminal law lang ang focus ninyo. Pag criminology, iwala ninyo or tanggalin ninyo sa utak ninyo yung criminal law. Parang ganon. Parang ihiwalay ninyo para mas smooth. Okay? So, ganon. Kapag crime class ang tanong ng crime ang sagot nyo. Kapag sexual deviation or yung mental, halimbawa may sakit sa pag-iisip or mental illness, so yun yung sasagutin nyo. Okay, so we have the kinds of crimes according to the stages. So we have the formal and of course the material crimes. Ang formal crimes or crimes of effect class, one stage lang, ano na agad, consummated. Ang material crimes, merong attempted, frustrated, and consummated. So ang formal crime, one stage. Ang material, tatlo. Okay, so tatlo class. So explain natin yung tatlo na yan. Okay, dito tayo class sa stages of execution. Kasi nga, nakalagay rin yan under the new TUS. On the stages of execution, we have the CAF na tinatawag natin. Wait lang. Okay, pakibasa muna. Sir Robin, pakibasa muna ng stages of execution.
Stages of execution. A. Commences. F. Perform all acts not produced. C. All acts of execution present. Note, stages of execution do not apply to crimes punished under special laws unless provided by law.
Thank you. So dito tayo mag-end class para mag-lunch muna kayo. So actually matapos natin today ang book 1. So under the stages of execution class, tandaan nyo lang yung CAF, yung CAF, or pwede nyo gawin na AAFC, di ba? So yung letter A dyan, ibig sabihin yan, that is attempted. Okay? attempted. Pag sinabi natin attempted class, ang tandaan nyo lang dyan na term or na keyword is commences. Yan talagang ginamit sa sa batas natin, sa book 1 or kahit tingnan nyo sa CODAL. Pag sinabi natin attempted, ibig sabihin, the person commences, di ba? Kaya bakit tinatawag na kapag graduation nyo, commencement exercises? Di ba? Pagtatapos yon. Ang commences class, hindi yun ibig sabihin pagtatapos. It's just started. Ibig sabihin, nagsa-start ka pa lang. Okay? Nagsisimula ka pa lang. Okay? To begin. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag natin class na commences. Okay? So, commences class, ibig sabihin, nasimulan niya na yung action niya. Halimbawa, i-rape ka niya or babarilin ka niya or halimbawa, i-rape tapos sinimula niya na pero hindi naging successful. That is attempted. Tandaan niyo lang yung commences or the person just started the commission of the crime. Commences yun, class. That is attempted. Nakuha? Pag sinabi naman nating frustrated, okay, kapag sa frustrated stage class, the person perform all acts of execution. But, naging successful ba ang felony or nakumit ba ang felony? But, the felony was not produced. Na wrong spelling pa dyan. Again, pag sinabi natin frustrated, all acts of execution are present, okay? But, the felony was not produced. Nung binaril ka niya, natamaan ka pero hindi ka namatay. So, that is frustrated. Nakuha? So, all acts of execution are present, but the felony was not successful. Hindi nag-succeed. That is frustrated. Pag sinabi naman natin consummated class, consummate. All acts of execution are present and the felony was produced or was successfully na-produce. Yan yung tinatawag natin na consummated. Ulitin natin. In the stages of execution, tatlo na, very important yan. Pag sinabi natin attempted stage, ibig sabihin, the person or the criminal or the offender just commences or just started the commission of the crime that is attempted. Pag sinabi naman natin frustrated, the offender or the perpetrator perform all acts of execution but the felony was not produced. Ibig sabihin, fail. Okay, hindi namatay. Then, pag sinabi natin consummated, all acts of execution are present, then the felony was produced or was successfully. Gusto mong patayin yung tao, napatay mo siya, that is consummated. Nawa? So, yan yung tandaan ninyo. Then, take note class, yung attempted, frustrated, and consummated, yung stages of execution natin, is that it does not apply to crimes punished under the special laws unless provided by law. Bakit class? Bakit hindi natin na-apply ang attempted, frustrated, and consummated? Kanina, di ba, na-explain ko to sa mala inse and mala prohibita. Bakit, class? Bakit hindi natin na-apply ang attempted, frustrated, and consummated kapag yung crime na nakomit niya is under or listed under the special law? Bakit? Ano yung reason behind? Bakit yung attempted, frustrated, and consummated, yung stages of execution, does not apply to crimes punished under the special laws? Yes? Robin, ano yun?
Idea, sir.
Ano yun? Based on sa... okay, ano?
Ano, sir, yung if halimbawa, sir, dun sa kasong rape, sir,
okay,
na wala naman dun, sir, na kung halimbawa, wala naman dun na frustrated So, ibig sabihin, kapag halimbawa na-commit mo siya, sir, automatic na consummated, sir.
Okay.
Parang ganun, sir.
Okay, so may iba pa? May ibang idea? Thank you, Robin. Very nature. Okay, ganito class, di ba sinabi ko kanina, kapag ang na-violate mo na crime is under the revised penal code, yung stages of execution will be taken into account. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, yung na-commit mo na crime is murder. So, merong attempted murder, frustrated murder, and consummated murder. Pwede yon kasi under revised penal code. Kapag sa special law naman, or sa special law naman halimbawa, sabihin natin sa drugs, lahat, di ba? Okay, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na attempted possession of dangerous drug, frustrated of possession of dangerous, consummated, hindi pwedeng ganun, di ba? Kasi lahat, class, consummated agad-agad yon. Nakuha ninyo? Consummated agad lang kapag special law. Unless na lang, it is provided by law na magsasabi na there is an attempted, frustrated, and consummated. Nakuha ba ninyo? So always go back sa basic, okay? Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin class na stages of execution. Nakuha ba ninyo class? Okay, Victor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Victor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Under the special law,
Coach,
considered consummated. Yes, Victor, may ano ka pa? May idea?
ang
Okay na?
pwede mo tanong coach, ang
Yes, yes.
frustrated ba coach? Pasok ba ang arson ang frustrated coach? Kasi yung frustrated sir, di ba
Oo.
ang tinatawag no frustrated says rape, indirect bribery, corruption of public officers, adultery, physical injury, o theft. Yun ang
Oo.
hindi pasok sa frustrated. Ang
Oo.
arson sir, pasok ba ang frustrated sir?
Actually, ano yan very controversial. So, ano na yan, hindi na natin sasagutin yan kasi hindi naman lumalabas. Kasi iba-iba ang interpretation dyan. Pero sa amin, we will stick na ano talaga, nawala. Of course, kahit ano 'di ba yung sa live natin kay Attorney Anselmo, wala talaga kahit sa discussion niya. Sa kanilang ano, wala. Pero of course, we cannot hindi natin pwedeng ipilit 'yon sa iba kasi iba-iba ang interpretation ng mga lawyers na. Stay put tayo diyan. O, 'di ba?
Yes,
Kaya ano yan, hindi naman lumalabas yan kaya wag na natin pag-usap. Okay, so basta ganun we will stick to that, okay? 'Di ba? Alam niya ni Sergeant Foras na wala, okay? So ganun class para walang wala nang away, no? So ano lang, basta wala. Okay, wala class Okay, so ganun lang yung stand natin doon. But of course, yan yung natutunan natin for how many years. So wala talaga. Okay na? Okay, so ayan. We will continue our discussion later. At yes, wag na lang problemahin kasi hindi naman lumalabas yan. Okay, problemahin natin yan kapag unless sinabi ni Supreme Court na ganito wala, na ganito meron, si Supreme Court lang ang makapagsasabi niyan. Okay, okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Very normal yan, di ba? Sa TikTok nga, ang dami nag-aaway doon ng mga abogado or kasi iba-iba yung interpretation nila. Kaya hindi na natin pwedeng kapag i-ask natin si Attorney Gaba, wala na, malalaman na yung sagot, di ba? So kasi hindi naman pwede. Okay, so or unless na lang si Supreme Court ang magsabi na ganito walang arson, merong arson, walang prostrated arson and so on. Kapag ganon, edi tapos na. Pero hindi pa naman lumalabas ang ano ng Supreme Court. Wala pa naman siyang comment. Kaya walang mananalo, 'di ba? Walang panalo. Okay, so yan. We will continue our discussion later.